Welcome back to another exciting episode of Mama Life. Okay, y'all, have y'all ever heard the phrase, your sex life is over after you have kids? Okay, so part of that is true, only because I feel like once kids get into the mix of marriage, it's so hard to balance those two. And that's what we're going to talk about. So, our topic for today is balancing sex and parenting. And I would love to come on here and let you guys know how easy it is, but that's not true. So, how do you guys balance it? Like, let me know, how do you guys balance sex and parenting? How do you balance those two? First of all, it's for some, I know it's kind of hard to balance because with having kids come, you gotta try to take care of home, try to clean after the kids, try to make sure everything's good. Come bedtime, everybody's tired, everybody's drained because we've been running around trying to get things done for the kids, and the kids don't want to go to bed because kids never want to go to bed, which really kills the mood sometimes, because sometimes you have everything planned out, like, all right, I'm gonna try to do this for my hubby when the kids sleep, I'm gonna try to be all romantic, and kids refuse to go to bed, they're crying, things happen, they want a million things, and by the end of the day it just kills the mood because they're not sleeping. They're not sleeping. So another thing is when you're in the middle of doing it and and the kids come knocking and want things, or the kids are like screaming for you and you're trying to ignore it, but then you can't because they're screaming louder and louder, and so it kills everything. You got to go to them trying to see what's wrong, then you try to get back in the flow and not really get back in it. So that kills the mood also. So yes, I could see that the balance might be kind of hard, but there are ways to get around it. There are ways to keep that balance going, because contrary to popular beliefs, I think that sex is, a very important aspect of a relationship, and it keeps the chemistry, it keeps the bond, it just keeps you guys like together intimately. So yes, I think that is very important to try to balance the sex and parenting, especially when you have kids, especially when you have a lot of kids. Like, it's important for you to keep that going. And I have a few things because me and my hubby, I wouldn't say that we're struggling, but it was in a decline. We didn't do it as much until we figured out the right way to balance things. Because it's true, like when you have kids, like at the end of the day, you are drained, you're tired, you don't want to do anything. And it's like, you kind of have to. Like, I get it that you guys have kids, you guys are mothers, but at the end of the day, you're married too. Like, you have to try to find a way to satisfy your husband. Like, there is no other way around it. Like, he needs your attention too, just as much as your kids need your attention. So, balancing those two is very important. And here's what I do. I know it's probably different for everybody, but here's what I do. So I usually put my kids to bed like around 8, and at that time is me and my husband's time to like unwind, which means that we have a glass of wine, we watch TV, but not that long because we gotta get things done in the bedroom. All right, I know 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is not that long to do stuff. So we have to kind of, time it. Okay, we're gonna watch TV for this ever long, because if I let it get to 10 o'clock, like we're both gonna be tired. Like I know my hubby, his eyes start closing like at 9. Like he gonna be dead tired because he's been working all day. So I'm like, okay, we gotta get this done. We gotta drink a wine. We gotta watch, whatever we want to watch on TV, and then we go and get it done because it's just gonna happen. But we also try to get some time in the mornings on the weekends and in the afternoon sometimes. How is that possible with the kids around? So we well, actually my hubby came up with this because I would never. First of all, because I'm like, what if the kids need something? Like, what if the kids, get hurt playing around? And the thing is, like, why worry about it? Like, they're playing with each other. Sometimes they're like just sitting down and watching TV. So we could kind of try to sneak in a room and get whatever and do whatever we want to do. Like sneak in a room, do whatever you want to do, take care of business, and then come out and nobody will be, surprised. So yeah, that's what we do. We go in the room, take care of business, especially in the afternoon. We get our afternoon in. We get our afternoon little quickie. And it feels good and it gets us, we're like being all lovey dovey. And it's like, okay, like we can do this. Like sometimes on the weekends in the morning, after I go for my walk, of course, because my walk is always like a priority. Like I gotta go for my walk, and then after my walk, I usually have a little snack. So after that, then we could see what it do in the bedroom in the morning. But of course, we lock the door both times in the mornings and the afternoons. Since the kids are up, they're not sleeping. It's not like at night where we know the kids are in their room and they're not gonna come out. Even at night, like when they don't want to go to sleep, when they're like louder in their room and it's a possibility that they will come out, we will close our door and lock it so we can make sure that they don't see us do anything. So yes, we do lock our doors when we doing stuff in the afternoon, which really helps. Like y'all, if y'all have like multiple kids, like if y'all have kids running around all the time, even if they're playing in their room and then you just go in your room and just do something real quick, it's still getting something done. It's still doing something. And yeah, that's very important. It's important to like to spice things up. It's important to like be intimate, especially with your spouse, because at the end of the day, y'all, at the end of the day, I feel that the kids are gonna grow up. They're gonna grow up, they're gonna leave, and it's just gonna be you guys. It's just gonna be you guys. So if y'all not spicing things up now, if y'all not getting to know each other now, getting to know each other later, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough because you guys are gonna just be stuck looking at each other like, why? So yeah, that's what we do. And we also, you guys, we also have games that we use to spice things out. So I have this one game called Monogamy, which I love. And I've talked about it in other episodes. And it's like this board game. Okay. It's like this board game. And it has cards, and within the cards it tells you, to do intimate stuff with your partner, and you could eat like strawberries, you could drink wine. It's just a fun game. And I also had this other game, which I love games. I love board games. So when I saw sex board game, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta have it. I gotta have it because it's just gonna be great between me and my partner. So if you guys have Amazon, look at Monogamy, look it up. And if you guys enjoy games, especially with your hubby, this is gonna be like a fun game just to spice things up in the bedroom so you guys could get it going. So yes, that is a fun game. Like seriously, that's a fun game. So another way we try to balance our sex life and our parenting is really by going on dates, because We love taking each other out for drinks, which is good, or going out to the movies, going out to eat, because it just builds our communication, and I feel like we get more intimate with each other when we do that. So that is what we do. And yeah, it is important, because I feel that once you have kids, I feel like some people think that, okay, like, they're not having sex because they're too occupied with the kids, they're too busy, they're gonna get tired. But the truth is, there are ways around that. Like, you don't have to hold off because you're like too busy with the kids. Like, at the end of the night, they're asleep. Okay, they're asleep. So when they're asleep, y'all could just do stuff when they're asleep. That's how I see it. And I know that that's not how everybody sees it, because, people get tired. People get exhausted. Kids are tired. Kids are exhausted. They could drain the life out of you. Like, for real. No lie. No lie. But I feel like sex is a way to, like, de-stress. Like, de-stress. Like, once you do it, once you're in the mood, once you're in the bed, once you're like intimate, you forget about everything. Like, it just feels good. Okay, it's a way for you to de-stress. Yeah, it's a stress reliever. So yes, it's important, because it helps you de-stress from, the day. Like, you could also do stuff like give your partner a massage. So there are other ways other than, doing it all the time. Like, you could give each other a massage. Y'all could read together if y'all want. Y'all could just, watch a movie. Just try to be there for each other. Just do stuff when the kids are asleep, or just go in a room and just make each other feel good when the kids are not asleep. Y'all could lock the door. Like, that's why there's locks on the doors. Of course, y'all, let me tell you a funny story. Of course, one day that really didn't work well for us, because we were in a room trying to, do something, trying to do a little quick thing. And our kids were trying to open the door. Like, seriously, like, really unlock the door with their hands. And yes, they were trying to pick the lock. They were really trying to pick the lock. And I was praying that they did not open the door that day. I was like, please don't open the door. Please don't open the door, because I do not want to score y'all for life. Okay? Please don't open that door. So yes, like, the whole balancing sex and parenting thing, it's important, because first of all, you guys need your time too, because I know how hard it is to raise kids. I know how hard it is when, when you're busy doing stuff, when you're either busy working all day, you hardly see your partner, when when you're busy doing stuff around the house, when you're busy running errands all day, when you're, taking care of the kids, when the kids keep crying and they don't want to go to sleep. So taking that time to de-stress, taking that time for yourself, taking that, little intimate moment between you and your partner, it's very important. It's very important, and it is much needed. It's much needed. Like, it's very important to balance this two, because that's gonna be the glue that keeps everything together. That's gonna be the glue that keeps everything together. Like, that balance. That balance is very important, because I know people that be like, oh my God, it's so hard to, like, get intimate, especially when the kids are around. Like, you can't get rid of your kids all the time. So be creative. Be creative. We had to be creative, because it's not like sometimes the kids don't want to go to sleep at night. So I'm like, we can't even do stuff at night because we have to tend to their needs. Like, how are we gonna try to tend to our needs when they keep, when they want things, and we have to constantly tend to their needs at night because they don't want to go to sleep. They're screaming. They want 1,000 things. They want to get out of the bed every few seconds. We got to go put them back in the bed. And it's like, okay, all right. So sometimes the nighttime doesn't work. But we found out that the afternoon works all the time, especially when you lock the door, when they're like preoccupied watching TV, when they're preoccupied with their little video games. One thing during the summer, I know it's summer now, but one thing I try to incorporate in the summer is little slumber parties where me and my hubby sleep on the floor with them. So during those times, there's not enough time for us to like go in the bedroom, do something. But then, during those little slumber parties, they have permission to, like, okay, you can play video games for as ever long as you want. So while they're playing video games and we're done getting them ready for bed, we're done brushing their teeth, they're just in the other room playing video games, we could go and do whatever we need to do. And that's it. Like, it's easy. I know it's not easy, but it's kind of, you just have to find a balance. You just got to find a balance. And once you find that balance, baby, once you find that balance, it'll be easier. Like, trust me, sometimes you're not gonna feel like doing that, and sometimes you're gonna feel dead tired. Sometimes you're gonna be hurting after a long day. Sometimes you're gonna be like, oh my god, I'm so tired, I don't want to do anything today, I just want to sleep. But you could still make up for it the next day. You can still make up for it the next day. You're not gonna want to do stuff all the time. I'm not saying that you guys should be like rabbits and try to, incorporate sex all the time. But I'm just saying that sometimes it's good to satisfy each other's needs and make sure that, the intimacy is still there. So, yes, that is what I do to balance, my sex and parenting. What do you guys do? And do you guys have any pointers for other couples out there? Like, let me know in the comments. Let me know when you guys listen to this podcast on Spotify. Let me know how you guys balance sex and parenting. And is it hard? Is it easy? Trust me, it is not easy. It's the hardest thing, but there is a way, and you can find a loophole around it if you want to. So, yes, yeah, it's hard. I'm not gonna come out here and say it's easy because it's not easy. It's not easy, but I think it takes time, and it takes you just, communicating to your partner, seeing what, your partner's needs are, seeing how they could be met, seeing if you could, like, try to find a loophole around it. Like, either, our thing was the morning and the afternoon, and sometimes, yeah, we get it done, like on the weekends in the mornings, or, randomly in the afternoon. We just go and do it. Either we lock the door, we get it done, or we just go in our closet, which is where I'm recording right now. Like, we find ways. We go in the closet and then we do what it do, but we always make sure the doors are locked. So yes, y'all, that is how I try to balance my little sex and parenting. So yeah. Mama out.